Okay, so this is Wednesday, August 8th, first day of school. We're going to record. For those of you who are at home and dead today, you get a chance to watch it, or parents who just want to creep on the classroom, you get a chance to watch it also. The kids are not on the screen. It is just me, because I only record the most important thing in the room, and that's this guy. Plus, I don't want the creepers that come after them, so it'll just be me on there. If they have to get up, they walk behind the camera and stuff like that. They're mostly responsible. We'll see how it goes from there. Now, we're recording fifth period, which is right after lunch, so I've already covered some of this. I'm going to rewind a little bit and keep going through. It's going to make you guys look all smart when we start talking about it again, because it's going to make it sound like you guys actually know what's going on, so we'll see how things happen. For those of you who are playing the home version, you have two homework assignments coming up this week that you're going to want to write down. One, it is due tomorrow, which is your notebook. The notebook, which now I have to walk all the way over here off camera. How embarrassing, two walks. Let's get back on. And I'm back. You're going to want a notebook like this, which has a little flat edge on it, not the spirally notebook. Thanks for volunteering, I appreciate it. Not the ones that have the spirally bits, because the spirally bits, the pages fall out, which makes you have to redo homework, and that makes you sad. You're going to want the ones that have the flat side to it. If you don't have access to one of these, you can either bring $1 in tomorrow and get it from the bookstore, or bring $1 in and you can buy one from me, because I buy them from the bookstore, or you can bring a note from the big people in your house that says you don't have access to one, and then I can give it to you for bringing the note. My main goal with this homework assignment tomorrow is to see who's responsible, because if you don't bring it, then I get a chance to start attacking you, because the sooner I can figure out my lazy kids, the better. Homework due Friday. You are going to bring in a photograph of yourself. A photograph of you does not have to be this large. You just want to make sure you have a photograph of you. Then print it off. The photograph can be of you of any age. You cannot have you as any older than next week, because then that's traveling through time, and that's kind of weird. But it can be all the way you through as a baby. The problem is your picture will be out in the hallway for everybody to see, and your name will be on top of it. So make sure you don't bring in horrible, embarrassing pictures, because then we all get to laugh at you. It's going to make one of us very sad. If you don't have access to a picture, that those of you playing the game here, if you don't have access to a picture, what do you bring instead?
No.
Way to go, two of you who paid attention. You get to bring in a note, and you just bring it in and say we don't have access to it, then you should be good to go. Each one of those assignments is worth 5 points. Bring both of those in. You get to go into the weekend with an A. Both of those, my goal is just figuring out which kids can be responsible and bring things in. Those are your two homework assignments. We have another homework assignment I'm assigning on Friday, but that's like 2 days away. No one cares about it yet. So we're not going to worry about that as of this time. Plus, it's about as challenging as those. So it's not super tough. No. Also, those of you who are at home, to help you out, make sure you write down your combination somewhere to make your life easier, because you're probably going to forget your combination. So make sure you write it in your iPad, and that way you can find it later. My recommendation is either Notepad app, or use the calendar and just use your birthday, put an entry in there, and then you should be good to go. That way when you forget your locker combination, you can get back into it. Let's see, the iPad is yours. Make sure we know which iPad is yours. If you have an iPad, once again, Aiden right here in front, make my life easy, thank you. If you have an iPad, they all look the same, and we have no idea which one, watch this, which one is yours. I was not really going to throw it, not on camera at least. So make sure you find some way to identify it. The best way would be when you open it up on this inside part, put your schedule. That way you can make it look all nice and low-key when you need to check your schedule later. Also makes things much easier if you leave it somewhere, we can figure out who you are. So find some way for us to figure out who your iPad belongs to. If not, when you leave it, it gets turned into the office and sits there for days on end, and your parents yell at you and you get grounded, and no one likes that. Or you can set the lock screen to your face, and that makes an easy way to track you down. But kids seem to find that creepy, which entertains me, but seems to scare kids. But whatever, children. And then we get to this part. Well, I guess if you're at home watching this, you might not know this because you've not had a chance to wander around the school and get all lost and bump into things. But around our school library, we have 3 different doorways, which all look the same and they're pretty much identical. True Blood. Maybe turn off both lights for just a second. Ooh, look identical. Yay. Turn it back on. I'm scared. Thank you. And so you have all these identical doorways to try and figure out where you're supposed to go. Above the doorways are these little things called signs. signs. Look up, use those. It'll tell you what's down the different hallways to try and help you out. When we went to lunch a little bit ago, we went past the one that said office and cafeteria. We ended up going down the one that said PE, band, and music. Even though we didn't go to PE, band, music, we just took the back way down to the cafeteria. But it went past all of the band and music areas to get it. Use those signs above those doorways to try and help you out. I think we had just gotten through that. Oh, yeah, we'll do the hall pass. This is where we'd finished, and now we get to get past it. All right, so those of you at home, when you get back, you're going to get one of these little hall pass things. These are good for my class, which is English, Social Studies with Mrs. Randall, and then Science with Mrs. Melling. It has 3 passes on it. It is good for the entire year. If you lose it, you don't get a new one, and you are completely out of luck. If you don't lose it, you can either keep using it for the entire year, or you're more than welcome to cash it in for prizes, which we're going to talk about either today or tomorrow, depending on how far we get to this next little section, and then hopefully that helps you out from there, so don't lose. Oh, I would recommend that if you have like the school iPad thing, you can put your name on here so you don't lose it, and then put it inside the case, and that way you don't lose it, and it makes your life much easier. So that covers that, to that, to that, and that is where we had ended. Those of you playing the live version with me right now, questions from you about anything we've covered up to this point, or are you just going to blink at me? Blinking it is. All right. Now, less boring, more new. All right. Tardies? No, not tardies yet. I wanted to yell at kids. All right. With your iPad, last thing we're going to do with your iPad is I'm going to have you take a look at my website. So go ahead, open up iPad, take a look at it for a moment. Open up Safari. You're going to go to www.mrbroviac.com. Yeah, it's the easiest website ever. Actually, www.website.com would probably be the easiest website ever, but that one's taken. That would have been a great website to have. If your iPad is not set up yet, then you'll just have to like low-key look off someone else's, or just use your imagination, because I'll put them up there. Does anyone need help getting connected to the school Wi-Fi? So I can help you with that too. Jesse? If you need to connect to the school Wi-Fi, don't use that one. That's my name. You're going to use the first 5 letters of your last name, the first 3 letters of your first name, and then 000. Unless you're a clone. If you're a clone, then it's like 001. Unless you're a clone of a clone, then it's 002. And then your password is capital A, little S, little E. And then the pound signs will be your student ID number, the one you just used to buy lunch or to go to the library. Or Morgan?
Can I look up one of theirs because mine's not set?
They don't have to worry about it. Just
Okay.
I'll put it up, you'll be fine. If you don't have your iPad, it's fine. It just makes things a bit more challenging. Those of you who do have an iPad, you get to look at this fascinating thing called my website. So I get to explain things. Luckily, because I'm a thinker, I put pictures up there behind me in just a moment, so you'll just use your imagination. You'll be good to go. All right. Anyone else not connecting to internet and need help? So, all right. When you go to my website, here is how it's going to look. One, that button right there in the middle takes you to my YouTube page where I post the files for every day as far as the videos for class. This one will be on there shortly after the end of the school day today. I will upload it, and I'll send it out to parents if you want to go home and watch it. I don't know why, because you're living it live. But you can go back and watch it if you wanted to. And there's the link there. If you want to email me, you can click that picture of me, my first year of teaching, because it's weird and creepy. But it brings up the email link, and you can send me messages on there. And there's little buttons that go across the top that we're going to be talking about in a moment. The one we're going to be taking a look at now is the one that says Homework Files. You'll tap on Homework Files, and then it brings up 2 choices. One says Regular, one says Advanced. Tap on Regular, and then it's going to bring you 3 more choices. And one says Beginning of the Year, one says Grammar, and one says Short Story. Being is that this is the beginning of the year, you're going to click on Beginning of the Year. If you want to learn grammar, you can click on Grammar and get all the nouns and verbs to your heart's content on. Or if you really want to get bored and you want to read a short story, you can click on Short Stories and be like, I love learning. But for the most part, I'm assuming we'll do Beginning of the Year. So you go clicky-click there, and it's going to bring you to the new page. And so it's got, I put like the school map on there in case you want it. It also has a locker map on there. It's going to have this file, or this paper that we're getting ready to talk about here in just a second. So let me give you the paper copy of what's on there. For those of you who don't have iPads, you still get to play along with this. It's like I got your back. The first thing you're going to want to do with this is put your name on it because you're going to need to bring it back tomorrow. Welcome. And then bring it back again on Friday. Losing it means I get to be mean to you, which is only fun for one of us. That's me. No, you're quite welcome. I wouldn't always have to be mean to children. Not killing children, being mean to children. Come on, Jim. Stop focusing on kid death. Sometimes we just want to torture them. I know. Those of you watching the home version, you're going to want to fast forward into like I'm in front of the screen again because it's going to be kind of boring. But you might miss me telling jokes or harassing children, which can be kind of entertaining. Or, if you listen carefully, you can hear me attack Jankowski, which is also entertaining for me.
It's entertaining for me.
In a moment, we're going to get into the how to not have me kill you part of class.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Not physically, emotionally.
I'm going to have to rewatch that.
Because I'm going to kill your emotions.
You sign up.
I'm going to make some of you cry. This is going to be a good year. There you go, Wiggins. All right. With this piece of paper, put your name. Oh, those of you at home, we just clicked on the one where it says the room management plan and the first day handout. We did both of those. Looks like it's going to download those. We just have the papery version of it. Those of you here, put your name on this. Because tomorrow, we're not using the iPad. I'm going to say, get out this piece of paper. When you go, I don't have that piece of paper, I get to start being mean to you. If you don't want me to be mean to you, that is where the putting of the name on it, and then being able to return it tomorrow. The reason you put your name on it is if your name is on it, and you drop it or leave it on my floor, I will return it to you with minimal torturing. If you drop it and leave it and your name is not on it, then you are fully asking me to attack you and torture you. So I'm trying to help future you make good choices. Now I see some of you being bold and choosing to write nothing on this piece of paper. And you're shaking your little fist at me going, Mr. Brovicast, you can't make me make good choices. You are correct. You are more than welcome to embrace the life of stupidity. I don't personally recommend it, but some of you are embracing that path. Ooh, parents, if you're at home watching this right now, you should ask your kid to get out this piece of paper, and then you should check to see if their name is on it. And if it's not, you should feed them gravel for dinner. Because apparently they are not making good choices. And they're hearing me say it right now. So if their name is not on it, they want gravel for dinner. That's how logic works. Gravel. It must be a Tuesday. All right, so then we have those things. As far as the iPad goes, unless you have found a link on my website that you find really entertaining, you can go ahead and close the iPad and put that away. We're done with it. Some of you may have found a link on there like, ooh, I'm reading short stories. It's so much fun. Better in class. I understand. I feel the same way. But otherwise, we're done with it. And all you need is the paper version. And we're going to focus on that instead. Now, as far as which side, the one that has the smally words, we're going to focus on smally word side, not biggie word side. I'm pretty sure those are technical scientific terms. Biggie and smally. Now the part we've all been waiting for. The part where we get to find out how I torture children and how it applies to you. I understand. I've been looking forward to it also. First off, tardies. I'm going to hit it quickly because I know a lot of other teachers have hit it today and it's pretty much the same idea. The difference between 6th grade to 7th grade is in 6th grade with the pods, you guys can kind of just wander around and do whatever you wanted between classes. You don't have to really worry about being tardy. Not the way it works here in 7th grade. You have that 5-minute passing period, and if you're late to the next class, then we get to start yelling at you. Each class is a little bit different, depending on the teacher. Mine, I have a personality issue. My personality issue is the fact that I think I'm all that in a bag of chips. I have an ego problem where I think I'm the most important thing to ever exist, which means I need you seated in your red chair when the class first begins. That way I can start right away. If you're just coming into the door when class starts, I take that as a personal insult to me and the fact that my class is not important to you. And that makes me feel sad on the inside. And if I feel sad on the inside, I have to share my sadness with you by trying to make you cry too. So in order to not be tardy for me, your tush-tush has to be in red chair when the bell first begins to ring. If tush-tush is not in red chair, you get a tardy for me. Mr. Brovicast, what's it mean when we get a tardy for you? By the way, when I do the high-pitched voice, did I explain that to you already?
No.
All right. All my classes have blended together. My high-pitched voice, I realize that when adults talk, a lot of times you guys just tune us out and you hear like blah, 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 old person sound. So every time I want to try and talk to you and I use your own voice, I will imitate the voice I hear when you talk, which is a high-pitched squeaky sound. Pretty much all of you sound like someone strangling a mouse whenever you talk. And so I will try to talk back to you in that same voice, which is just a high-pitched sound. So that's my 7th grade voice. Does that make you insane? No. Everything else I do makes me insane. That's just a small part of it. But anyway, back to being tardy. The first time you're tardy, when I walk in and you're not in your seat, I'm like, hey, you're not seated. You're like, oh, I know. I'm like, you're tardy. I'm like, what happens? I go, bad kid, bad. Don't do it again. And you'll go, I never will. I'm like, you're a liar. And you're like, I know. But that's how we bond. So the first time, there's just a verbal warning. I say you're a bad child. You say you know, and we agree. The second time you're tardy, the fun begins. So the second time you're tardy for me, you have to write an essay. It's not a 3-page essay, it's just a 3-paragraph essay, but your parents have to sign it. And basically the essay is a little thing you have to write that says, I'm a horrible child, I've made horrible mistakes, my parents don't yell at me enough, they're going to start yelling at me and taking away my dinner at night, and they have to go home and they have to sign and write down the fact that I know I have given you a horrible child and give you there. And so that's the second time you're tardy. The third time you're tardy, you don't have to worry about writing an essay. You have a lunch detention for me. And for the lunch detention, instead of eating lunch in there in the cafeteria, you get to bring a peanut butter and jelly and a chocolate milk. Unless I don't like you, then it's just a white milk, because chocolate milk is so much better. And then you get to come down, there's a little chair right outside my door, and you just sit at that little chair where the kids go back and forth from lunch, and you just sit there and you cover your peanut butter and jelly in tears. And that's for an entire lunch. And that's for your third tardy. The fourth time you're tardy, you don't have to worry about detention. You get sent to the office, and the big people yell at you. And I don't know what they do, like they rip off your skin or something like that. But I don't have many kids who get that far. Do I have many kids who are tardy for me? Yeah, it happens, because you guys are human. But for the most part, here's the good news, though. Your tardies don't carry over from class to class. So if you're tardy for me, and then you're tardy for Mrs. Randall, that's not 2 tardies, that's 2 1-tardies. So it means you got a first tardy for me and a first tardy for Mrs. Randall. So then if you get a tardy for me and Mrs. Randall and Mrs. Melling, that's not 3 tardies, that's 3 1-tardies. And so you still don't have to worry about it until you get multiple tardies in the same class. So even if you get multiple tardies in different classes, it does not matter if you rack them up in the same class. Mr. Brovicast, that just confused me. I understand. Here's the simple version of it. Don't be late to class. Done. That was the easy version. Oh, and for you guys, because you're 5th period, you get 2 chances to be tardy. And this probably applies to, to the kids in A and B lunch too. When you come back, there is no bell to be tardy. It's up to the teacher. So it's whenever the teacher enters the room, that's when you're tardy. So coming back from B lunch, if you go run to the restroom or run to your locker, if you're not seated tush-tush in red chair when I come through the door, you're tardy. If you go to your locker and you can get back to your locker and then back into my room and sit down before I walk through the door, I don't care. You're good to go. But you have to make sure that you get wherever you want to get and then get back and then tush-tush down before I walk through the door. If not, that's when the tardy comes in. And you guys get the double chance, the 2 tardies. Have you ever had a kid get 2 tardies in one day? Absolutely. Why? Because some kids are dumb. You? Probably not. But maybe. We'll find out. The other part, at the end of class, back to my personality issue, where I'm all that in a bag of chips. I like to talk a lot, and I'm really good at it. I'm an expert talkist. And so what will happen is at the end of class, we'll be in the middle of me going over something, and the bell will ring, and if you just get up and leave, that's an insult to me. Because that's your way of telling me that 6th period is more important than 5th period. And not only is that wrong, that's full of lies. Because there's no way 6th period is better than my class, because I don't teach your 6th period. So when you get up, that's your way of saying you like someone more than me. Sadness. So here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
If you get up to leave we're going to try and help fill your heart with love, because apparently your heart does not have enough love in it. So I'm going to have all 30 kids in here stare at you and point. And when you have 30 kids staring at you and pointing, you will feel the love flow through them and out of their hand and through that finger and into you. And you will know that your heart is filling with love because your face will get really red. And usually after it gets really red, you'll feel the love coming out the corners of your eyes in a little liquid form. And then you'll sit back down. And that's how we fill your heart with love.
But Mr. Brovicast, how long are you going to make us stay here at the end of class?
Not long. I don't like you that much. Probably like 5 or 10 seconds. What you'll do is when you want to leave and the bell goes off and you want to go take off to 6th period, you look at me and smile. And that'll fill my heart with love. And when my heart is full of enough love, I'll just giggle and be like, I can't take it anymore. You guys are out of here. You're like, yay! And you guys take off. Because most of the time you're going to do what you're doing right now, which is just staring and blinking at me. So then when the bell rings, then you're like, yay, 6th period, and you smile. And I see all of you smiling. Because I'm vain, I'm going to think you're smiling at me, and then I let you take off.
Mr. Brovicast, you're really weird.
We're just beginning. That's the tardies. Beginning of the class, end of the class. Oh, you're probably wondering if I'm going to yell at kids who have stuff on their desk that's not supposed to be there because the only thing on your desk right now is a white piece of paper and a writing utensil. I was going to, but I figured they'd pick up on these clues without me having to yell at them because it's the first day and my heart was full of love. Because the only thing on your desk right now is that white piece of paper and the writing utensil.
Mr. Brovicast, you're so low-key nice. I thought you'd yell at those children.
No, heart full of love, size of a walnut. I'm hoping to someday whip it the size of a peach. We'll see. The good part. Behavior points. Behavior points. The way these work is I have a number system for how much I like you. The more I like you, the nicer I am to you. The less I like you, the meaner I am to you. Now, everybody does this. It's part of being a human. Some people you like more than other people. The more you like a person, the nicer you are to them. The more you don't like a person, the meaner you are to them. You guys are the same way with teachers. When there's a teacher you like, you do the homework for them. You're less distracting in class. You behave for them because that's a teacher you enjoy. The teachers you don't like, you're awful for. You don't do the homework. You talk all the time. You put thumbtacks on their chairs. You slash their car tires, whatever kids do. And so humans do that. Teachers are the same way. The more I like you, the nicer I'm going to be to you. The more I don't like you, the meaner I'm going to be to you. The only difference is 2 things. 1, I'm honest and telling you that out loud. And 2, you will know at all times how much I like you. Because there's a little number system. And you can check your numbers to see how high you are on my likability scale. That's where behavior points come in. Tomorrow or Friday, when we officially start, you will all begin at 15 B points. Right there in the middle. As you gain points, good things happen to you. If you gain enough points, you get to kick other kids out of their chairs and you get to sit wherever you want. So as you start to go up, and let's say you want to go sit next to your friend and some kid has the seat that you want, if you get enough points, you get to kick them out of their seat. And you get to go, that's my seat now! And you get to plant a little flag there and that becomes your seat and you get to kick them out because I like you more than I like them. Unless I like them more than you, then you have luck. So that's where the little number scale thing comes in. If you make poor choices, you lose the right to sit in your seat. Being in that seat with the other kids is a privilege. When you make poor choices, I remove you from that seat. And I move you over here to my slow kids section. My slow kids section are the 3 chairs over here facing the wall. Currently they have school supplies on them, which you guys, by the way, are more than welcome to. If you want any of these notebooks or locker signs, you're welcome to them. Those are extra ones that I have. But eventually I'll get rid of them, and when you guys lose points, I move you over to here. Slow kid, not because you're not smart, but because you can't figure out how to operate in society. If you don't work there, I have a new area for you called distance learning. And that's when I open the door and I put you in the hallway. And you get to learn by watching through a crack in the doorway. Because some kids are really distracting and I'm not going to teach over you. Instead, I just remove you.
Mr. Brovicast, how do we learn from the hallway?
You're in luck. I've got this magical thing called a YouTube channel. And you can just watch my class.
But that's not nearly as much fun.
You're correct. That's why I kick you out, because you irritate me.
Mr. Brovicast, that's kind of mean.
I'm only mean to the bad kids.
So in other words,
Yeah, don't be a bad kid. How do you lose points? We're going to cover the bad points first. Pretty easy. If you irritate me, you lose points. If you're an idiot, you lose points. If you make poor choices, you lose points. You've been in school for like 7 years. By now, you should know what irritates teachers and what doesn't. The same things that have irritated every teacher until now, probably going to irritate me also. So don't do those things, and you'll be fine. Officially, here's the list, which I'll run through in just a moment to make it official. But those are the ways that you can lose points by doing the thing that you're not supposed to. The first one, talking. One, I actually don't mind talking, as long as you talk when you're supposed to. The only time I don't want you talking is when I'm talking, because I'm the most important person in the room. So if I'm talking, you have to pay attention to me. If you talk while I'm talking, that's your way of saying that you think you're more important than me. And that's full of lies, because you're not. I'm more important than you. So if you talk while I'm talking, that's an insult to me, and I'm going to charge you points for it. How many points am I going to charge you? It depends on two things. One, what you're saying, and two, which kid is doing it. The more I like you, the fewer points I charge you. The more I don't like you, the more points I charge you. So, let's say Morgan, for whatever reason, has been a great kid for me, and one day she turns over and she's like, Jesse, I love your shoes. I'm like, Morgan, stop talking, bad kid. She's like, okay. I'm like, how many points did I lose? None. I like you. You hardly ever talk. We're good to go. Then I have Joey, who talks every day, and I'm like, Joey? And Joey's like, cough, cough. I'm like, Joey, 10 points. He's like, all I did was cough. I'm like, 20 points! Because I don't like Joey. And so the more poor choices you make, the meaner I'm going to be to you. And so don't be Joey. Be the kid that makes the good choices.
Good afternoon once again, folks. We are going to push the release of Sea Lunch back 5 minutes. So it will be until 1:25. And then we will adjust the 6th and 7th period schedules accordingly by 5 minutes. I will send you that email, and so you'll have the time frame for our 6th and 7th periods.
Exciting. So that's the whole point thing. Depends on what you're saying and what you do. Oh, the other thing with talking, I have sneaky talkers who I've learned over the years, the kids who are really good at talking and not getting caught. They're the ones who like turn and talk, and every time I look over, they're like, hello, and they look over me, and I can never catch them. There's always all the other kids turning to talk to them. So what I will do is anytime that I see a kid talking, I punish both the person talking and the person being talked to. So if you're talking, you get in trouble. If someone's talking to you, you also get in trouble. It's the same idea. For those of you who have been in school long enough, you realize that it's always the second kid that gets in trouble, because I've realized that over the years. Whenever a kid turns around and is like, stop it, and like punches another kid, it's not coming out of nowhere. It's probably because the kid behind him is poking them in the back of the head nonstop. But it's always the second kid who gets caught. So to make it easier, I will punish both kids. So it's the same thing with talking.
But Mr. Brovicast, that's not fair. What if there's an idiot kid sitting next to me and they just keep talking nonstop? I don't want to get in trouble because they're an idiot.
I feel the same way. Here's how you solve that problem. Take your hand, extend fingers, put it in their face. And that way when I see you doing that, that's my way of knowing that you're trying to be good, but idiot child won't shut their yapper. And so the trick is, you have to look at me while you're doing it. So if all of a sudden I have this kid who's talking nonstop, and I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. You're like, and you just have to look at me with puppy dog eyes, whimper, whimper, and you hold the hand in their face. I look over, I'm like, hand in face, like, what? What's going on? Why is there a hand in my face? What's your hand in? Like, oh, there's the idiot child. And so I can figure it out much easier. Now, along those same lines, you can't throw your hand in their face and talk and like, hey, Aiden, what's up? How you doing, buddy? What's going on? Throw my hand that way because I don't get in trouble. It doesn't work. So you can't talk to them with the hand in the face. But if you have a kid who's constantly bothering you, throw a hand in their face, and then I'll yell at them instead of you.
But, Mr. Brovicast, what if it's my best friend sitting next to me?
That gets a little bit tougher. So if you're sitting there and it's your friend talking to you, you're going to have to do what's called making a choice. You're either going to have to throw your hand in their face and make them feel bad, or let them talk to you and you lose points. So either they lose points or you lose points. I'm happy either way. You get to do what's called making a big kid choice to get there. So there's, for the most part, where we're going to stop, because we have more time with you guys, so I get to do another activity with you guys in just a moment, but the kids at home don't get to see it. So for now, here's where I'm going to stop this one. Yeah. Oh, wait. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Gucci. Because that's a thing that I saw.